That's the romance. The reality is very different. Extortion, numbers, murder. Life on the street is still a deadly business. Drugs will make it a dirty business. This is the story of three men who grew up in that life, with those old codes of honor, of loyalties, and saw them betrayed.
I was too into sports. That was my whole life, was football and baseball. As a matter of fact, out of high school, I had a football scholarship offered to me. I didn't have, at that time, I didn't have the aspirations to be anybody big in the family, because all I wanted to do was make a lot of money. My uncle, Nino, was probably my biggest role model. His one dream in life was to die in the street with a gun in his hand. You know, if that's not being proud of being a gangster, you know, Nino's the kind of guy that could walk into a restaurant and everybody will look up and go, look at the gangster. You know, I mean, he did what we used to call wearing it, and he wore it 24 hours a day. You know, I mean, if you saw him in his bathrobe, he was wearing it. He'd have the dark glasses on, he'd have the bathrobe on, and it was him. He didn't change.
Dominic Montiglio grew up in the 50s in Levittown, Long Island. His godfather, Nino Gaggi, was an up-and-coming soldier in the Gambino crime family. Uncle Nino became Don's surrogate father, taught him lessons he couldn't learn in school.
He made me resign being the class president because part of your duties were, when the teacher was out of the room, when there was assemblies and stuff, you had to write who the bad people were, who was talking out, and, you know, while the teacher was out of the room and stuff like that. And he said, well, what you're telling me is you're a stool pigeon, and we can't have a stool pigeon in our family. So go back and tell the teacher tomorrow you can't be the class president. I just had to resign. I felt like I was starting to learn about my family.
My uncle told me to be a man of honor, to be a man of respect. You know, we have to live this life. This is our life, he told me, you know. This is the way we live. We don't trust the government. We don't live by their laws. We have our own set of laws we live by. From when I was a kid, you know, my relationship with my uncle, he told me the right path to take, which I believed him, and I followed him, and I listened to him, and he got me involved with the La Cosa Nostra.
Phil Leonetti's uncle, Little Nicky Scarfo, the scariest hood in Philadelphia, shot his way to the top of the Bruno crime family. He left so many bodies behind the cops lost count. Nicky taught Phil the ropes.
He made sure every murder we did in Atlantic City took less than 1 week. He wanted to have that reputation. He always said he loved that movie Scarface with Paul Muni.